Hello and welcome to the Saturday edition of the Box Seat. I'm Mark Warwood. A showery day in prospect on Saturday in Perth. We're expecting 21 degrees Celsius. I think the track will probably hold up and be a good 4, however, and the rail, it will be at the true position. Race number 1 at Belmont on Saturday will jump at 12.18. It's the Tap Touch Wet Speed Platinum Maiden over 1200 metres. And in replay, let's go to York and the last start third of Devil's Dust.
Devil's Dust, but it's Alma Talk who wheels into the stretch at the 350 over Rockstar D'Amour. Devil's Dust around their heels now into the open, starts to get busy. Rockstar D'Amour heats the lead. Down the outside, Devil's Dust, it's Rockstar D'Amour with 100 to go. Devil's Dust coming again with Alma Talk. Down the outside, Lady Hattress, but Rockstar D'Amour clings on. Rockstar D'Amour just...
Tricky card at Belmont on Saturday and a tricky race to start it off. Not a great deal of wonderful form in this heat. Going with number 4, Devil's Dust. They put the winkers on here, Peter Diadrescu and Jason Whiting. Now this horse drifted from favouritism out to $3.60 at York, finished third, didn't really have the greatest of runs, but York is one of those tracks where it's always, you can always forgive a horse a bad run at York. Prior to that was third in a maiden here at Belmont Park, beaten 3.5 lengths by New Archie. Gate number 1 with the winkers on. I think it's probably the one to beat. From number 11 Wednesday for Cliff Green and Stephen Parnham, another one that's drawn a good gate here. Gate number 2, draw gate number 4 on its debut in a Westbeat maiden on the 12th of September. Was beaten 1.25 by Mystic Love. Should be there or thereabouts, one would think, at the business end. Number 2 is I Am Groot, trained by Jared Noski, and he also rides this horse. He rode the horse last time out in a Westbeat maiden, beaten 5.5 lengths by Tickalong. Has drawn gate number 6 here. Goes from the 1600 to the 1200. That is quite interesting. And another interesting runner is Matthew Scott's mare, POWDERBELLE, number 7. Claims 3 here, does Christy Bennett, down to 53. That's 2 kilos lighter than last start. Comes out of a race at York. I think this horse might be on speed. 3 starts ago, tried to lead all of the way. I think with the light weight here, could certainly run a race for connections. Top selection in race number 1 is number 4, Devil's Dust, to beat 11 Wednesday, 1 I Am Groot and 7 POWDERBELLE. Race number 2 at Belmont on Saturday will jump at 12.57. It's the Amelia Park Plate over 1,000 metres for the 3-year-olds. Select field here. We're going to have a look at the debut performance of Friday night.
Well off them into the home straight. Madame Torio's the leader. They hit the 300. Brooklyn Pia comes after it. So does Our Danny. 2 or 3 lengths away then. Friday night starting to run on well. Brooklyn Pia headed Madame Torio when they neared the 100. Brooklyn Pia clear of Our Danny. Madame Torio Friday night battling away, but it's Brooklyn Pia with a resounding first up win. Brooklyn Pia beat Our Danny Friday night.
Just the 6 acceptances for this race, but I think you make a pretty strong case for at least 4, maybe 5 of them. I'm in the camp of number 6 here. Friday night was a sectional star in that debut race behind Brooklyn Pia and Our Danny. Fastest splits from the 6 to the 4 and also 2 to the winning post. Went a little bit awry from the 4 to the 2, but plenty of ability. Green as grass in the replay race. Gate number 3 here gets a weight swing on Brooklyn Pia. Even though there's only 6 runners, I think there's a fair bit of tempo here. I think Friday night's going to get a lovely run off the speed, and if he's strong enough at the end over the 1,000 metres, I think he's the one to beat. Goes on top. From number 3, Brooklyn Pia, very impressive win in replay, beating Our Danny by 3/4 of a length. This horse was gelded for this campaign. Gate number 1 here, should be there or thereabouts. No knock on that horse whatsoever. No knock on number 1 either, Gemma's Son. Gate number 4, Christy Bennett claims here, takes over from Paul Harvey, who rode the horse in the Caracara Plate. That's the only time this horse has been beaten. Had excuses that day as well. It was a very, very fast run race. Went off $1.50, tried to lead them all the way, was beaten 3/4 of a length. First up has to be the concern, has to give weight here, will certainly before the claim, but can win without surprising. And then the unbeaten number 4 in Dunbar now has beaten Ability and Chantalk in a maiden and then in a 2-year-old race. Gate number 5 here. I think the query's got to be the 1,000 metres. I think this horse is looking for a little bit further. His win over 1,000 was on a soft track. Can win without surprising, but I think there's some really smart types here. Top selection in race number 2, going with number 6, Friday night, to beat 3 Brooklyn Pia, 1 Gemma's Son and 4 Dunbar. Race number 3 at Belmont on Saturday will jump at 1:37. It's the Glenroy Chaff Plate over 1,400 metres. And in replay, let's go back a few weeks and the run and the win of Captain Burglar.
Burglar. In behind them then came Indigo Blue, and Aztec Gold is starting to warm to the task. Wider out, Actinison at the head of the others. Dark Assault challenged here by Captain Burglar. It's Captain Burglar going to the lead. The favourite looking to get a run in behind them. Excerpt makes ground. Captain Burglar's the leader though. Snuck away from Excerpt, and now here comes Indigo Blue with a late burst. Captain Burglar, Indigo Blue diving. Missed though.
Captain Burglar has drawn gate 10 of 10 for Saturday's assignment, but there was a lot to like about his win when beating Indigo Blue in the replay race. Indigo Blue has come out and franked that form in maiden grade as well. They make gear changes here, the blinkers come off, the visor goes on, and I think that Captain Burglar might be a horse going places for the informed Neville Parnham and Chris Parnham combination. Goes on top. Horse that finished fourth in last year's Size Produce Stakes is number 5, Chicklet for the Pierce brothers. And Joe Azzopardi has had 2 runs this campaign, both at Northern, was behind Kerman Rock, who then came to town and ran quite well, and then beat Reciting in what was a pretty hot maiden by Northern standards. However, that form took somewhat of a knock on Wednesday. Reciting went round as favourite and was never sighted. So a bit of a concern about that form there, but I think Chicklet is a horse worth following. Number 7, You Do You for Justin Warwick and Lucy Warwick, I thought made a pleasing debut behind Triple Missile, was beaten 3 3/4 lengths at 20-1. Gate number 3 here, up to the 1400 metres. Improvement is expected. And then number 1, Off We Go. Winner over 1400 and then 1600, steps back to the 1400 metres here. Beat Surveillance last start, who's also accepted for this race but did go around on Wednesday. Has to give weight all round. Been very slowly run races. Big query about Off We Go. Top selection in race number 3 is number 3, Captain Burglar. To beat 5 Chicklet, 7 You Do You and 1 Off We Go. Race number 4 at Belmont on Saturday. We'll jump at 2:17. It's the C Corp handicap over 2,000 metres in replay. Let's go back a fortnight. And the win of Leading Girl.
Around the turn, she's still about 6 or 7 from the leader, and back last is Volkswagen Frank. Mrs. Brown's Boy is now being stoked up as they head to the 250 from Strike Force. Leading Girl is running on down the outside with Nawadaroo juicing Carrot. Strike Force comes at Mrs. Brown's Boy. Leading Girl is starting to quickly cut them down in the shadow. She's going to get up there. It was a beautifully timed ride, and Leading Girl.
I thought that Leading Girl was a very impressive winner 2 weeks ago. Came in for quite some criticism on social media after the run. Apparently she was a little bit plain in the way she did it. She went round at $1.35 and they expected a $1.35 shot to win more impressively than she did, but her closing sectionals were absolutely outstanding. The clock does not lie. I think stepping up to 2,000 metres here is a plus. She's going to see the trip out, and if Abel Dane goes round, they're going to go lickety-split, and I think she will certainly stay, and I think a few of these here are probably very suspect beyond 1,600 metres. Goes on top from number 2, Mackenzie Brooke for Angerant and Maddie Derrick. Now, Maddie claims he takes over from Clint Johnston Porter, who rode the horse first up. That was over the 2,200 metres behind Montalina. They dead set walked in that race. I could have gone quicker to the 600 metres than most of the horses did then. Not sure how Mackenzie Brooke's going to bounce out of that race second up, but I think a strongly run 2,000 metres will certainly suit that galloper. Then number 7, Paddy's Shadow, ditto to Mackenzie Brooke, steps up in trip here to 1,200 to 1,400, now to 2,000 metres. Gate number 2, certainly looking for this type of trip. And then number 8, Abel Dane. Mathematically, this horse should have no chance. It is 18 points outside of the handicap. Does get a claim of 3 kilos, so that's 6 points down to 12. But just the way this horse runs, he breaks horses. He comes out of that really fast run race won by Without Reason. And if anyone's going to elevate off a race like that, it's going to be Abel Dane, goes in the minors. Top selection in race number 4 is number 5, Leading Girl, to beat 2, Mackenzie Brooke, 7, Paddy's Shadow, and 8, Abel Dane. Race number 5 at Belmont on Saturday, we'll jump at 2:53. It's the Varley Keith Watson handicap over 1,600 metres. Keith lost his life up at Broome a couple of weeks ago, most famous for being the jockey of Heron Bridge that won the Newmarket at Flemington. In replay, let's have a look at the last start performance of SNOWCHINO.
The hyphenator makes his move with Big Massimo, and Massimo quickly dispensed with Great Shot. He drew a length on him quickly from Darty, Harry Thomas, and back behind them struggling SNOWCHINO. He draws the shillelagh now on Massimo, and Massimo extends, passing the 100. Massimo clear from Darty, Great Shot. It's Massimo coming away from them, and another one here for Johnston Porter. Massimo goes on to win the finally from Darty.
Found this a really tough race to settle on a top pick. I ended up with number 8 here in SNOWCHINO. I was drawn gate number 9 of 11, but probably can be there or thereabouts for Jason Whiting, who rode the horse last start. Last start was in the Finally Stakes, was beaten 3 and a bit lengths by Massimo. That was over the 1400 metres. I think the 1600 metres suits SNOWCHINO better. 2 of its wins have been over that trip, including 1 over the course and distance. Really, really hard to separate a lot of these, going with number 8. From number 11, Strike Force, who comes out of the race won by Leading Girl that we referenced earlier in the previews. Only beaten 3/4 of a length. The race rating was pretty high. Doesn't drop in weight, stays at 54.5 kilos. This horse has been building towards a win here in WA, and even though it goes up in grade, I think this horse could make its presence felt from 4 points outside the handicap. Number 7 is Mrs. Brown's Boy. 1600 metres is certainly in his wheelhouse. 4 of his 8 wins have been over that trip, including 3 here at Belmont Park. Tried to lead all of the way in that Leading Girl race, but they went very quick early on, and Mrs. Brown's Boy ran out of petrol, can improve. And then number 1, Harry Thomas, also comes out of the Finally Stakes, similar to SNOWCHINO, was beaten 3.9 lengths that day. They've elected to go with a claim here, 58.5 kilos. Chloe has a party, should be on speed, maybe not leading, but there or thereabouts, and he's very, very consistent, is Harry Thomas. Top selection in race number 5 is number 8, SNOWCHINO, to beat 11, Strike Force, 7, Mrs. Brown's Boy, and 1, Harry Thomas. Race number 6 at Belmont on Saturday will jump at 3:29. It's the Varley Nino Buratovic handicap over 1600 metres. Nino had a number of gallopers with Adam Durant during his lifetime, and Adam has got 3 acceptances in this field of 13. One of those is number 4, Come Right Back. Let's have a look at his last start.
Peppy Jack that heads for home. Count to Mozoff. Quickly collared it though. 2 lengths of Strotomite. Turbo Power. Come Right Back. Abbey Lane and Tonka Tough is coming right down the middle of the track. They went past the 150 and Count to Mozoff reaches the lead. Strotomite trying to gun it down. Count to Mozoff and Peppy Jack fighting back off the canvas with Tonka Tough lunging. Count to Mozoff got the head in front. He's broken a drought. I
think this is the right race for number 4, Come Right Back. Should be on speed from gate number 7. There's not a great deal of speed engaged in this contest. Second up on Saturday, comes out of a 1400 metre race, beaten half a length, carries the same weight on the weekend. 1600 metres certainly suits this horse's one up to 2000 metres, and I think it will be ahead of what I've got pegged as the main danger in the run. So number 4 goes on top. Main danger, and a big danger of that, is number 8, Moderator, for Brock Luthwaite and Chris Parnham. Now Chris Parnham takes over from CJP, who rides Come Right Back. Didn't have a great deal of luck last start, it has to be said, in this grade. Over the 1600 metres, was behind a wall of horses. Ended up being just a length behind Playing Marika at the end, but had no daylight until about 50 metres from home. 2 starts ago, beat Divine Quest over the 1650. I think with the right run, Moderator can certainly win this race, but the map is a concern. Number 9, Arnie's Boy, comes out of the same race as Moderator, only beaten 1/4 of a length by Playing Marika. Prior to that was beaten by Moderator. I think that form's pretty good, and I think Moderator's got a slight edge over Arnie's Boy. And then the aforementioned number 3, Playing Marika, comes out of a graduation race that they won, goes up 2 kilos from 57 to 59, but draws a central gate. Horses in form, and you can't really knock horses in form. Top selection in race number 6 is number 4, Come Right Back, to beat 8, Moderator, 9, Arnie's Boy, and 3, Playing Marika. Race number 7 at Belmont on Saturday will jump at 4:08. It is the Iron Jack handicap over 1200 metres, and in replay, let's go back to the last start win of Long Beach.
Swing into the straight. Condor Heroes called upon by McGruddy. He hasn't moved a muscle on This'll Test You. 4 lengths away, Long Beach, but starting to cut them down very quickly as This'll Test You goes up to Condor Heroes. 2 lengths behind them, then Long Beach is running on. Condor Heroes fights back. Long Beach is cutting them down. It's got them okay, Long Beach. Long Beach went right over the top to win it. Long Beach beat Condor Heroes.
The overall rating of the replay race didn't scream Winterbottom Stakes, but the manner of the victory and the horses that Long Beach beat certainly did. The tempo wasn't as fast as a lot of people thought it would be, but that didn't bother Long Beach. 1,000 metres was a negative, the tempo was a negative, but this horse ran over the top of them, won by a length, is a good horse going places. 5 wins from 8 starts, draws gate number 3 here. Chris Parnham rides, and I think he is the one to beat. A horse that proved me a little bit wrong last week was number 4, Cliffs of Comfort, for the Pierce brothers and Joe Azzopardi. He ran out of his skin in that race won by Celebrity Queen, the Nicopolis Stakes, was beaten in a photo finish. The punters liked it, $2.90 he went round at. They were certainly right, I was certainly wrong. 1,200 metres is a tick, the gate's a tick. I just think that Long Beach is a seriously good horse. He's the only real danger, though, to the favourite. Number 5 is Position of Power. This horse has been very consistent at Belmont Park. He resumes here. He's had 6 weeks off, but I just think he'll find a couple a bit too sharp for him over the 1200 metres, and perhaps he needs a senior jockey as well. Paul Harvey rode him to most of his wins earlier this year. And then number 10, Pooley. Now, he certainly faces his toughest assignment yet, but he should race on speed here, and he gets in on the limit weight as well. Last time out, he won with 61.5. He carries 54 on Saturday. Top selection in race number 7 is number 3, Long Beach, to beat 4 Cliffs of Comfort, 5 Position of Power, and 10 Pooley. Race number 8 at Belmont on Saturday will jump at 4:45. It is the Black Heart Bart Stakes, listed race over 1200 metres, formerly known as the Birthday Stakes. Black Heart Bart, arguably WA's greatest living galloper, 6-time Group 1 winner, and he won this race when it was the Birthday Stakes back in 2015. In replay, let's go back to the last start performance of Vital Silver.
Dance around the bend, Belter, joined by Muddy Matters going up strongly, and wider on the track is Highland Beat. Jericho Missile is starting to come down the outside, and then came Vital Silver and Tawny Pete. Muddy Matters has got the lead. Jericho Missile is down the outside. Muddy Matters in front. Jericho Missile, Vital Silver, Muddy Matters, Jericho Missile driving. Jericho Missile goes to Muddy Matters. Muddy Matters kicked and just won.
Quite simply, Vital Silver is the highest rated runner in this race. Official rating of 111. He posted the fastest last 200 metres of the Jolly Beggar Stakes. He maps to get a lovely run here from gate number 4, and I think in what is a very, very tough race to pick the winner in, he clearly is the most obvious one. Goes on top from number 2, Free Trade, who produced a career best effort to win the Idyllic Prince Stakes last time out. That was over the 1300. He steps back to the 1200 here. Look, I'm not really sure about this galloper just yet, but he kind of won me over a little bit with his performance in the Idyllic Stakes. It was clearly his best ever. Number 3 is Massimo. Now, this horse may well end up in Kalgoorlie. He's obviously been targeting the Hannon's Handicap throughout his campaign, but they drew a lovely gate here, gate number 3. So they've named a jockey. Jay Bennett potentially rides the horse, as won his last 3 starts, including the Farnley Stakes. He maps to perfection. And then number 11, a horse that doesn't map to perfection, is Stage Man. He's somehow without a black type win, this horse, and the odds are certainly against him here, given the gate and where he's going to find himself in the run. They make gear changes, blinkers off, blinkers on. I just want him somewhere in the minors because he is such a good horse. Top selection in race number 8 is number 1, Vital Silver, to beat 2, Free Trade, 3, Massimo, 11, Stage Man, and remember, Black Heart Bart will be on course on Saturday and he'll lead the field into the mountain yard. Race number 9 at Belmont on Saturday will jump at 5:20. It's the Crown Perth Handicap over 1200 metres. In replay, we're off to the Larkhill Trials and the performance of Rebel Knight.
Right now, and over toward the inside with the initiative, Rebel Knight. To the outside, coming out after it, Riverbow, Stage Man. Between horses, Karanis. Then playing red, Cup Knight is beginning to thunder down the outside, still with a few lengths to find. Stage Man goes up to Riverbow. Then playing red, Cup Knight. Stage Man puts the head in front, though, from Riverbow coming back. Stage Man just in front and does it.
Rebel Knight will be first up on Saturday. Trialled very well, I thought, behind Black Heart Bart Stakes runner in Stage Man. He goes okay fresh. He's had 5 first up runs for 1 win and 3 minor placings. In what is a very, very open race, I just kept coming back to him even with the 60.5 kilos. Goes on top from a horse I've had a lot of trouble with over time. That's number 7, BEDOUIN Belle. Gate number 1 here for Lulu Ciani and Jason Whiting. Has placed on each of her last 4 starts. And gate 1 is certainly advantageous for her, given that she generally races there or thereabouts. Number 2 is Don's Legacy. Bo Banovich Edwards takes over from Christy Bennett. This horse was 7th behind Nero Deer last start. Did win 2 starts ago, beating BEDOUIN Belle. Led all of the way in that contest and may well find the front here in spite of gate number 11. And then number 8, Expressionist. Lightly raced, certainly open to improvement, but this horse is a swooper, dropping in trip from the 1400 to the 1200 metres and teaming up with an apprentice for the first time, with Maddie Derrick riding with William Pike over east. Top selection in race number 9, number 1, Rebel Knight, to beat 7, BEDOUIN Belle, 2, Don's Legacy and 8, Expressionist. It's now time to nominate my best bets on the Belmont card. Race number 7, number 3, big fan of this horse, Long Beach. And in race number 8, couldn't get away from number 1, Vital Silver, the class runner in the Black Heart Bart Stakes. It's easy to stay up to date with everything that's happening at Perth Racing. You can log on to our website or you can follow us on one of our social media channels. Until next time, bye for now.